chiller. We sit, the big fish are now going to be fish. But we yet is going to think ain't going to fish no deer for now, so we all need a for itself. So here in the Gullah Geechee Nation, we like to say the big fish are eating up the little fish, but if we have seismic guns blasting, we won't have any fish left in our fisheries because they're going to depart from this area. And that's part of our cultural heritage, our cultural sustainability, and the sustainability of our ecology on this coast. So this is one time that we truly need gun control. We need to control seismic guns and stop the use of them on the East Coast altogether. There's no drilling, so there shouldn't be any shooting.
Yeah, great job.
I'm prepared to talk about the fact that the Gullah Geechee culture is inextricably tied to the waterways. It has been since the 1600s. We live from these waterways, and if we were to have seismic gun blasts go off in these waterways, they already know, scientists have already clearly stated to us that a number of the water creatures, the sea creatures, will depart from along the coastline because of the volume of the sound of the blast. And so this then would damage our ability to literally and figuratively sustain ourselves and our families. And so it's crucial to us that we keep the ecological balance and restore more things to our fisheries that have already been departing because of pollutants. So we now don't need sound pollution to kill off any more of them.
And I can kind of already tell what you're going to answer for this, but what would you like to see happen with raising awareness? What do you want to see happen to kind of support the cause?
What I would like to see happen is that people that live all along the Atlantic seaboard and that come here to visit join us in standing against the use of seismic guns along these waterways the same way they did to stand with us to stop the oil drilling plans that were going to happen here, so that when you come to our coast, you can still connect with the people, the culture, and even the creatures that are in the water. We believe the water to bring we, the water go I take we back, but we need to keep that water in a way that's pristine for us to have that happen.
All right, welcome everybody to the 7th annual Hands Across the Sand at Folly Beach. My name is Carnevale, and I'm the Coastal Climate and Energy Manager at the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy. We're a host of this event. We've been hosting this event here on Folly Beach for, this is our 7th year, and the co-hosts of the event today are Oceana and Don't Drill South Carolina Lowcountry. Thank you all for coming. We're here to send a resounding message throughout the state and to Washington, D.C. that we are here to say no to offshore drilling and seismic testing and yes to clean energy. This is one of This is one of 87 events around the world. There are more than 50 events up and down the East Coast. So this is very much part of a movement of people, communities all up and down the East Coast and around the world saying that the alternatives to oil have never been more viable. There's no reason why we need to be drilling off our shore, and there's certainly no reason why we need to be blasting. 1 year ago today, when we came together at this event, we gathered because there was a proposal from the federal government to offer leases to oil companies off the Atlantic coast. Because of events like Hands Across the Sand and communities like Folly Beach and communities up and down the entire Atlantic seaboard, we came together, we made a powerful, strong, unified message that we do not want offshore drilling off our coast. As a result of that, in March of this year, the Obama administration canceled the plans for offshore drilling, and that is because of movements that this is a part of and because of people like you. So please. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a brief press conference here. We're joined by Mayor Goodwin, Mayor of Folly Beach, Senator Chip Campsen, Alice Morrisey from Don't Drill, South Carolina, Lowcountry, and Queen Quet, Chieftess of the Gullah Geechee Nation. So we're going to hear a few words from everybody, and then at the end of the press conference, we are going to join hands in a line as long as possible, spanning down the beach, which will be, this is our line in the sand, to show that we're protecting our beach from the impacts of offshore drilling and protecting our ocean from the impacts of seismic air gun blasting. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Tim Goodwin, Mayor of Folly Beach, to get us started.
Thank everyone for being here. It's doesn't seem like it's been 7 years. I guess it has. And thinking about the event last night over the past 7 years, the no drilling off Lowcountry shores. The only thing we can do is give Senator Campsen and his colleagues a challenge to say that, hey, if you want to stop offshore drilling in the Charleston area or Lowcountry area, all we have to do is pass a state law that says if there's any drilling within 30 or 35 miles of the Charleston coast, or Charleston Harbor, the only place the pipes can make landfall would be White Point's Garden. You would see a grassroots uprising. It would stop that, I believe. And you think about seismic testing, everybody says, well, for the good of everybody, what's a few marine mammals? That's some of the thought process. But take that thought a little bit further. Suppose we're going to do seismic testing at Mount Rushmore. And we just said, for the good of everybody, we would just lose a nose or a couple of lips. It wouldn't be a big deal, would it? Imagine the outcry for something like that. So we have to think outside the box sometimes when we bring the best. And we have to remind everybody what happened 7 years ago, what happened 2 years ago, what happened 3 years ago. It all can come back very quickly and very fast before we even know what's hit us. Thanks for being here, and looking forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you, and I appreciate hosting this event. I'd like to say that my Senate district runs, it's a coastal district, it's over 85 miles long. It runs from Falls Bay in Charleston County all the way to Port Royal Sound. It lands in Beaufort County. It's the most beautiful legislative district in the entire country, probably. Tremendous natural resources, beautiful resorts, incredible public places like Folly Beach, like the Ace Basin, one of the most important ecosystems has been protected largely by property owners voluntarily giving conservation easements on their property. And so the main point that I would like to make is offshore drilling presents a threat of oil spills, and there will be inevitable spills, and there is a threat of major spills. But one thing about offshore drilling that is absolutely certain, and that is it requires a tremendous amount of industrialization of the coast for it to happen. I know this firsthand. I own a boat company. I've built boats in the Gulf of Mexico, shipyards down there in Louisiana, brought them back across the Gulf, brought them through the bayous of Louisiana. I've seen firsthand what it takes on land to support offshore drilling, and it is a very, very highly industrialized, very grimy and dirty endeavor. And I found, talking to people, that no one ever gave that any thought. They just think, well, they're gauging the threat of whether a catastrophic spill is going to happen or not. Well, there is no degree of probability with regards to what's got to happen on the coast. It's 100% certainty that your coast has to be highly industrialized. And if you look at the coast of South Carolina, there simply is no place for that industrialization to occur, not at the scale that is necessary to support offshore drilling. The truth is, what happened in the Gulf of Mexico happened in the 1930s, before there were incompatible land uses down there on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. Well, this is the 21st century, and we have a very different coast. We don't have all the bayous that kind of isolate some of the oil industrialization in Louisiana. We don't have those bayous, and this is the 21st century, and we have incompatible uses. Where are you going to put the refinery? Where are you going to put the laydown yard that's needed in order to put the rigs together and then haul them offshore. You're going to put that in the Ace Basin. You're going to put it in the Santee Delta, in pristine Winyah Bay, where we have 45 miles of our coastline from the Isle of Palms to Debudu protected. We're going to put it in that section of the coast. We're going to put it down there on St. Helena Island, Beaufort County. No, we're not. And so people need to give some thought to this dynamic, this aspect of offshore drilling that my experience has been they give no thought to at all. And if you were to actually proceed with offshore drilling, and then the land-based infrastructure began to be permitted and constructed, you would have an avalanche of people who currently are indifferent or even for offshore drilling who would come into the opposition camp. Because it's simply, we have too precious a resource here on the coast of South Carolina with land uses that are very important, that are incompatible with the industrialization that's necessary for drilling. And so I also, one last point I'd like to make, I'm very proud of my constituents, the people I represent in the state senate, because the entire coast of South Carolina, at least the governmental entities, the city councils that represent these coastal communities, came out very strongly in opposition to offshore drilling, and that made a huge difference. This is an instance where grassroots action really made a big difference, and I want to thank all of y'all for helping make that happen.
Thank you, Senator Campsen. And next I would like to introduce Alice Morrisey, who's with Don't Drill Lowcountry. She's one of the most dedicated grassroots activists, dedicated to protecting our oceans, and she was a key member in galvanizing a group of citizens. And activist is the wrong word. I shouldn't have said that. I should have said residents, citizens, just everyday people who are pushed into activism because of a certain course of events. Alice really helped galvanize citizens from along the coast to push back and say no, and a large reason why the Obama administration did cancel the lease like they did is because of citizens groups like Don't Drill Lowcountry, which Alice is co-founder of.
You know, some of us forget that we live in paradise and we're down to the shore. The sand, the salt air, the waves lapping at your feet. It stirs and soothes our soul. Did you know that the word soul originally meant belonging to or coming from the sea? There's a vast world beneath the sea where whales and dolphins and turtles and fish and all kinds of marine life live. And we've often been thoughtless guests in their realm. We trash the ocean and we create all kinds of anthropogenic, which means man-made sounds in their world. Many sea creatures rely on sound to communicate, to mate, to find food, to migrate. And some of the most destructive man-made sounds are those caused by seismic airgun blast. Seismic blasting is the first step in the oil and gas industry's search for oil. Rows of air guns, 40, 50 air guns, are towed behind huge ships, firing blasts every 10 seconds, as loud as dynamite, 24/7 for days or weeks on end, covering an area potentially as large as, twice as large as California. We're grateful that President Obama took our coast off the Atlantic coast off of the chopping block for oil and gas. Now we need to ask him to stop seismic blasting. We need to join hands and send SOS to President Obama to stop offshore seismic blasting. And so as we unite to do that, we can be grateful for that ground that is beneath the sea that can thrive as we can thrive if we have the peace and quiet of no seismic sounding or drilling. Thank you.
Okay, so next we're gonna hear from Queen Quet, the Chieftess of the Gullah Geechee Nation and co-founder of the Sea Island Coalition, Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition. And she's gonna do a special libation with us. And she's asked that we hold hands in a circle. So yeah, Queen Quet, take us away.
Just a little while longer, hold on. Just a little while longer, hold on. Just a little while longer, everything will be alright. On a chill and fight on. Just a little while longer, fight on. Just a little while longer, fight on. Just a little while longer, everything will be alright. On a chill and everything will be alright. On the water, everything will be alright. Good afternoon. How are the children do out here? Woo! So glad all of we to come together. This your circle might look a little to other rest of people, but this your one big circle. This circle is big enough from Geechee, all the way from here, all the way to DC. This your circle. They Geechee before, but they got Geechee even louder than seismic gun this your time. When we say the fish ain't won't go, so drop the gun. So you understand? So this your one time when we need gun control. So for all the 100 children with no cracky teeth like this year, as I said in Gullah, this is the time we need gun control. This is the time that we need to have the guns put down, never to be fired, never to be blasted on our coast. We say the big fish are now honey leaf fish. If we have these guns go off, we'll have no fish for any of us to eat on because our ecosystem will be out of balance. Our coast will be out of balance. The Gullah Geechee culture will go into non-existence because we've thrived and survived for 400 years from these waterways and on this land. And so when I'm here today, along with my family here of the Gullah Geechee Nation, we are here to represent the other million or so of us out there that are stretching hands in other parts of the coast today, from Jacksonville, North Kakalaki to Jacksonville, Florida, to take a stand against oil drilling and against seismic gun testing. You understand? So any kind of gun and a no fun. Any kind of gun and a no fun. So this your day, we stand with all of you in the circle, united to tell DC from the sea, say no to the seismic gun blast. 100 children, hold on just a little while longer, because everything will be all right. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Thank you, Queen Quet. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a couple minutes. If you're comfortable, just invite a couple people to join us.
Mm-hmm.